Leslie from Discovery Fabrics. This week I'm doing a series of videos showing you the many different fabrics that you can use if you're making the new Discovery jacket from Greenstyle Patterns. The Discovery jacket is a collaboration between Discovery Fabrics and Greenstyle, and we've been using it in our shop for many, many years. The jacket that I have on right now is the same Discovery jacket, and it's made from a high loft neo shell, which we don't even have anymore, but I'm going to talk a little bit about the neo shells that we do have and a few other shells that we carry. Now, the one thing I can tell you about shells is the more you know about them, probably the more confusing it is, because there just doesn't seem to be a hard, fast rule. But I'm going to show you a whole lot of variety here, and you can at least see what some of the options are. So right from the get-go, I'm going to talk about the hard shells that we have. Now, even that gets really dicey because there used to be a really distinct description of a hard shell versus a soft shell. I did soft shells yesterday. Soft shells don't have membranes and hard shells do, but man, they've really mixed them up over the years. And so really there isn't any clear definition, but we consider Gore-Tex shells, Polartec Neo shell to be hard shells. In a lot of cases, the ones with no stretch especially. And then the other ones, Neo shell, PowerShield Pro, Polartec Wind Block, they can all be combinations. But without further ado, here I'm going to show you some very similar styles that are completely different manufacturers. So this one is Gore-Tex. Gore-Tex, again, is not any one fabric. It's actually thousands of fabrics by the Gore Corporation. This particular one has no stretch and has a tricot backing. So what you can't see in any of these fabrics is the membrane that's hiding in between the very water repellent outer and the inner layer, which can be many different things. Next to that, we actually don't know the manufacturer of this one. It feels pretty much like the Gore-Tex, but we got it from Nike, so we can't say whether it's Gore-Tex or PowerShield or some other manufacturer, but we do know that it has very similar properties and is going to act the same. This is also a non-stretch. Next to that, we have another tricot back. You'll notice that they all have the same tricot back. This one is by Polartec, and it is Neo shell. The Neo shell originally's claim to fame was that it was twice as breathable and twice as waterproof as Gore-Tex. That probably was true back in the day, but I know that there's so many other Gore-Tex fabrics that I can't say that that's true in a completely 100% comparison. So all we know is Polartec makes fantastic fabrics, hundreds of styles, and we love it. So this one, again, has no stretch. So the first three, no stretch. Next up, we have a Polartec Neo shell. Now, this does have stretch. And just so you know, we always put the amount of stretch in each fabric style on our website. So you can tell the stretch, the weight, that kind of thing. This one has stretch, but I would call it more ease because it really isn't super stretchy, but it does have a degree of stretch for comfort. This pink one that we have is has got a completely different back, just like the blue one. The blue one actually had a jersey back, and it looks exactly like the front. The pink one is Polartec PowerShield Pro in a lightweight style, and the grid back is moisture wicking. It, you know, function-wise, this is going to be very similar to the Neo shell with stretch. You'll see that this one has a lot more stretch to it. And then next we have a style. This one is Polartec Wind Block. Now, Wind Block is very similar to Neo shell. It just has a different technology in the membrane. It does have stretch as well. All of the printed ones that we have in stock were not printed by the manufacturer. We purchased them white and we sent them over to Vancouver to be printed. And so we have sort of one-of-a-kind prints on a few of our Neo shell and PowerShield Pro fabrics. Next up, we have another Wind Block by PowerShield. Now, this style, 6627, is very stretchy. So this is a style that I would choose if I were wanting to make a more snug fitting cycling jacket, for example. And again, it's got a tricot back. Now here I have Polartec Neo shell with stretch again, but this one has a brushed tricot back. So this one is going to be a tiny bit warmer than the other one. So it almost feels like a lightweight fleece, but it is a brushed tricot. And even though it's considered to have stretch, again, I think it just has ease. And we also have another style here, 6632 in eggplant, and it has a jersey back and more stretch. So this just goes to show you that it can be extremely confusing. So that's why, first of all, we write so much information on our website about these styles with the weight, the stretch, and you name it. And that's also the reason that we have an amazing Facebook group, So Inspired by Discovery Fabrics, because often you just can't make a decision without help. And we're there for you. So that group is all about helping you with your fabric choices. Last up, I am going to show you Polartec Neo shell with stretch, and this one has a brushed tricot back, and again, just nice stretch, but nothing super duper stretchy. So kind of interesting that I can wear a jacket like the one that I have on. This is Neo shell. As I mentioned, it's a style that we no longer carry. It sold out years ago, and it has this beautiful pile back on it. And just to confuse matters further, here I have a style by the same company, Polartec. This is Power Shield High Loft, and to me, it looks identical, but I know that the difference is hidden. It's got to be in the membrane of this jacket. So what I want to show you is, this is my winter jacket here on the west coast of Canada, where it's chilly in the winter, but it's usually not below freezing. A few days. But this is my same pattern Neo shell jacket in one of the very lightweight styles, and this would be too cold for me to wear on a day like today. But what I love about the Discovery pattern is that it is fairly loose fitting, and I can layer underneath it. So I would be layering with something like Alpha Direct, which is super thin. This is very high-tech fabric that was created for the US military, and in fact this is the Discovery pattern as well. So you're seeing a high loft jacket, a very lightweight shell, and actually my insulating layer, all made from the same pattern. So that's really cool. If you have any questions, you can always ask them in our Facebook group, So Inspired by Discovery Fabrics. But I hope that explains a little bit about your wider range of choices when you're making this jacket. And stay tuned, because we are going to be making some more videos this week showing many other fabrics that you can use to make this same jacket. It's just so great because it's very inclusive. It's for men, women, kids, you name it. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching.